That's every one of us, young and old, black and white, male, female, whatever. That's all of us. When I say what America looks like, what democracy looks like, that's us. That's our power. Our strength is in our numbers, y'all. But our numbers, we got to come together.
They bring those inside. There's a big Amazon rally outside. They bring pizza inside.
Do, all right?
Some pretty classic tactics.
Anybody got a chant off the top of their dome you want to warm up before we get started? Anybody got a chant off the top? Go? Sure. All right. So show me state. Nelly said show me 7. I'll show you 8. We want safety. So I say show me safety. 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 All right, this one's easy because every time you'll just repeat after me. Everywhere we go, people wanna know who we are. So we tell them, we are the workers, the mighty workers, fighting for justice. I said everywhere we go, people wanna know who we are. So we tell them, we are the workers, the mighty workers, fighting for justice.
Good job for all.
All right, everybody. I know it'll seem a little bit flip-flop from what you think, but we want everybody to stand behind the podium. You'll be able to hear plenty good, but we want to have everybody behind the podium. Why? Because we want your pretty picture in front of this Amazon to send them a message that we need justice and we need it now.
Hey, that's. You put a microphone on? A microphone. Wow.
Testing 1, 2, 3. There you go.
Thanks, man.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Reverend Darryl Gray. I'm the Social Justice Commissioner for the Progressive National Baptist Convention and the Social Justice Liaison for the Missouri Progressive Baptist Convention. I want to welcome everyone here this afternoon. We were here several weeks ago, right before Christmas. We basically stood in this spot. And we said to the families, when we came out here, the families that were affected, devastated by what happened at the Amazon plant, we said that we would not forget them. We said that we would be back. We said that we would remember them. We said that we would not rest until we get answers, that we would not rest until families got closure. And so we are here for that. We're here as a Progressive Baptist Convention because we believe that it is important, faith and labor, to have an alliance. So we believe that it is important for the church community to be the headlight and not the tail light when it comes to seeking justice, when it comes to consoling families. And so we made it a point, we made a commitment that we would stand with the families from the beginning to the end. And that's what we're here to do. And as a progressive convention, we're no strangers to unions. We're no stranger to organized labor. Dr. Martin Luther King, who was one of the members of the Progressive National Baptist Convention, believed in the strength of unions, believed in the strength of organized labor, and believed that the church and labor was a natural partner. It was important. How do we know that? Well, right before Dr. King was killed, he went to Memphis, Tennessee. Why did he go to Memphis, Tennessee? Because of what was happening with the sanitation workers there. The conditions that sanitation workers had to work under. The less than, when we say low wages, they were receiving less than low wages. If you can believe that, if you can understand that. The conditions, and most of those folk, the sanitation workers, were black men. It's not a coincidence when we talk about poor working conditions, when we talk about low wages, when we talk about having to fight and struggle for a decent wage, a livable wage. It's no coincidence that most of the workers that we're talking about, now, not all of them are black, not all of them are female, but most of them are black, and most of them are female. That's not a coincidence that most of them come from communities of poverty. You're coming out of poverty, so you believe that any way up is better than where you are, be you black or white or brown or yellow or red. And so that's real. And so Dr. King went to Memphis, Tennessee, because he believed that the Progressive National Baptist Convention and the Southern Leadership Conference and organized labor had to walk hand in hand, had to speak hand in hand. And Dr. King understood that the black middle class was created as a result of organized labor. Those are the realities. That is the history. But we're not here because of history. We're here because of the present. That even now, Amazon has not acknowledged its role in this tragedy. That it's not enough to say that in our building codes, in our safety trainings, in our emergency procedures, that we just did enough. That we adhere to the bare minimum of whatever the requirements and the codes were. It's not enough. And so we're here to say, Amazon, it's not enough. We're here to say, OSHA, you need to investigate, that there needs to be a thorough investigation into this, and we are not going to go away. And that's what we're here for today, to say to the families, we're not going to go away. We're going to be here with you until the end, to say to Amazon, we're not going to go away. And to say to OSHA, we're not going to go away, that we're going to continue, and you don't have to, you're not just going to be dealing with the families. You're going to be dealing with the faith communities. You're going to be dealing with organized labor and all the other allies that we can bring to this issue. And so right now, I'd like to introduce Jeffery Hebb. Thank you, Jeffrey. Listen, I'm going to get some names wrong, man. Just chalk it up to the fact that I'm just going to get it wrong. But I know Jeffrey. Jeffrey was Aretha's father, Etheria. Somebody told me the wrong thing, so that wasn't my fault, Jeffrey. All right. But we understand that she died on December 10th. A father shouldn't have to bury their child. So, Jeffrey, we want you to come and give some remarks about your daughter and her plans and what she wanted to do in her life.
My name is Jeffery Hebb. My daughter is Etheria Hebb. My daughter Etheria Hebb was one of the workers who died in this warehouse during the tornado on December the 10th. Etheria had a heart of gold. She was easy to talk to and get along with. She loved life, just wanted to. She was independent to get a job for her and her son needs. She was so excited when she got the job. She had been working with Amazon warehouse in Hazelwood, but coming out here meant she would get a bigger raise, be able to get a better apartment for herself and her baby. She thought she'd really be able to excel. She was on her way. She was on her way. I raised her to stride. She said, "Dad, I got a new job. It's it's paying a little bit more, but it's a further distance." Oh, y'all have to bear with me. I'm sorry. Oh, Lord have mercy. Oh, God. She didn't worry about whether the job was safe or not. She didn't think that she would leave the house and go to work and never come back. When I first heard about the tornado, I called my daughter right away. Something came to Troy, Missouri, where I stayed, and it was still, and the air wasn't blowing or anything. I called my daughter and said, the tornado missed you guys. I never got a call back. Then I knew. I said, my baby didn't call me back. We went to the pontoon police department. It was just us and the family. They said she could be on the bus or something. Oh, man. Excuse me. Oh, Lord. I was praying they would dig them out and she'd be okay. My chest was beating, and it was like there was nothing, no heart up there under it. Then the police officer said one of the bodies had a tattoo on the lower back, and I knew that was her. Somebody got to be responsible. My daughter was not expendable. Amazon was supposed to keep them safe. They didn't do that. How does a company worth over $1 trillion let something like this happen? We need answers. They know that Illinois is Tornado Alley. The tornado warning happened 36 hours in advance. They should have shut the plant down to make sure these workers were safe. They should have people come in doing emergency training and regular drills. They should have more than one shelter for the warehouse this big. Amazon needs to fully cooperate with OSHA investigating into this tragedy. Amazon workers and contractors should be able to refuse work that's too dangerous without fear that they'll be disciplined or lose their job. Amazon can and should do better so that no parent has to ever go through what I've been through. Etheria, I love you with all my heart. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. I want to just say thank you for saying that. And when I say thank you, we're going to say to Mr. Hebb, we love you for sharing his story. We know that's painful and not easy. So I'll say thank you.
We love you.
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 Thank you, y'all.
She was not going to work to be a police officer. She was not going to work to be a fire person. She was coming to a warehouse. There are jobs when police leave their jobs, their homes, that they understand that they may be going into harm's way. We understand that from what happened yesterday out in Ferguson. We understand that. We understand that from what happened a couple of weeks ago with a fireman who went into a building that was dilapidated and decayed. We understand that. But you can't make us understand this. And so now we like to call upon Arnetra. There you go. So I was close, wasn't I? Rhodes. Arnetra Rhodes. Amazon worker at Hazelwood Warehouse, and she was a cousin to Ruthie. Miss Rhodes, come on. In the church, in the church, when we get things wrong, we get about 23 people that shout out, Reverend Gray, you're getting it wrong. Thank y'all for shouting it out and telling me I'm getting it wrong. We're telling Amazon, we're shouting out today, tell Amazon, you got it wrong. Say, Amazon, you got it wrong. Amazon, you got it wrong.
You got it wrong.
How y'all doing this evening?
Good.
My name is Arnetra Rhodes. I work at the Amazon warehouse in Hazelwood, Missouri. I grew up in North St. Louis City, and I graduated from McEwen High School. When I graduated, I was working at the McDonald's on South Florissant that just got shot at. When I graduated, I wanted to get my life together, and then a pandemic happened. So me and my boyfriend, we got this job at Amazon because we always thought that it would be good. We know a lot of people that work there. We heard about this stuff. Then we got in, and it was just all different. I thought that we was gonna have enough to like get our apartment, pay bills and stuff, get the clothes ourselves, the food that we need, everything that we just need. I thought that it was totally gonna be different from what it is now. And I thought it was gonna be more training and stuff, but instead it's just another part-time job. And today I was gonna read from the script, but now it's just like I see everybody like actually what y'all out here standing for, and how my cousin Etheria was in that building, like actually how it looked from in person. I just think about it like, dang, it just all could have been different. It would have been different if they let them know what's going on. Even though if they don't have their phone, y'all play music over the intercoms. Every shift, all day long. So y'all could put that over the intercom. I know that they heard the sirens. They wouldn't let them down. They was in the middle of the warehouse. We were on the side of the warehouse. So it was like, it's just all hit different. And where I grew up from, we all not like that. Like, one house eat, everybody eat. My friends and their family will come over. My granny will feed my brother friends. Just, even though they got food, just because they are. Like, you don't never separate nobody out. But I feel like Amazon, like, they don't know us. We just somebody to get them rich. Yeah. They are worth over. We just somebody to get them rich. For real, like, they are worth over $17 trillion. Man. It should be no way that we don't have no type of safe house in none of these warehouses. All these warehouses out here, we have no type of safety to go to. Y'all don't tell us no type of safety. But y'all could build break rooms to where we could only get a 14-minute break. And we only work 4 hours a shift if we even work that. I'm 18 years old. I still currently live with my mother. I want to make my way out. But like now I can see like I'm gonna have to do more, because it's you can't expect more unless if you do more, basically. So that's why we out here today, to stand together for everybody, to come together and tell them that we need this. We demand this, not that we want it, we need this. We need to be protected.
Okay.
So I thank everybody that come out here today in this cold weather. I'm sure finna go to work right now to the Amazon in Hazelwood and do my 4-hour shifts. Hopefully they don't send us home. But I'm gonna do that shift and make me some money, even though it's not much. It still help. But they know that they could do better. They know that we should have to stand out here in this cold to make them do better.
Yes.
It shouldn't no 18-year-old have to tell y'all that. Y'all are worth $17 trillion. It should be no way that ain't no type of safety is in plan. So I appreciate all y'all. Thank y'all.
What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it?
What do you say after her? There's a passage in the scripture that says that a child will lead them. 18 years old. You heard 18 years old. And what she said was, this isn't something that we want. It's something that we need. But even more powerful, she said, I'm 18. I shouldn't have to tell Amazon this. Cheryl Sommer, president of United Congregations of Metropolitan East and mother of an Amazon worker. Cheryl.
Thank you. United Congregations of Metro East, faith-based organization of congregations in Madison and St. Clair counties. We organize people of faith to build power by organized people impacted by the injustice that impacts the common good. But my husband and I are also the parents of 5 children, one of them a daughter who works at Amazon in Oklahoma City. When we first heard on December 10th that a tornado had hit this warehouse, we were struck with a mixture of emotions all at once. First of all, relief that our stubborn daughter had not listened to our pleas to move back home and transfer to this Amazon warehouse. But also a sense of fear and trauma, knowing what parents like Mr. and Mrs. Hebb were going through. And that by sheer chance, we were not the parents. Pure chance, no other reason. The next day, when we learned that 6 workers had perished, there was little comfort in the fact that it wasn't our daughter, because it was someone's daughter. We were pretty sure right away that this tragedy wasn't just a matter of chance, but of negligence by the richest company in the world, owned by the richest human on the planet. Now, my husband and I had taught all our children that work has dignity and that work helps them feel more human and fulfilled. We taught them to work hard at their jobs. Still, for quite some time, we had been concerned for our daughter and the sheer exhaustion she was feeling from all the 12-hour shifts and the overtime that she was required to work. She had witnessed so many people fired when they didn't keep up with the grueling demands that they placed on her and her coworkers. They felt expendable, and they had little opportunity to move up. After the December 10th tornado, I wasn't at all surprised to learn of reports of shortcuts in safety, lack of training and emergency procedures, and all that has come out since then. I understand that these safety procedures have take time and money, and that it would have impacted the company's bottom line. UCM has stood with workers for over 20 years. We have advocated for good paying jobs. We've stood side by side with workers. We believe that profits are good, but how much profit, especially when it comes to the dignity and safety of workers who contribute to that profit? I know we all have human fulfillment, human longing for fulfillment and meaning in life. I understand the drive to have a good business and good things, but ultimately, where do we find fulfillment? How much profit is enough? How many homes for one person are enough? How many yachts are enough? How many trips into space? Will these bring fulfillment? My faith tells me that ultimate fulfillment comes from seeking the common good for everyone, not just for oneself. And that means respecting the dignity of workers. If Amazon's decision makers desire fulfillment and happy lives like we all do, then they should let justice for their workers roll down like a river.
Yes.
If they set the workers free from their exhaustion, then their healing will quickly appear. If they make people more important than profit, they will be like a well-watered garden, like a spring whose waters never fail. They will know peace and fulfillment. And they will know that no human is expendable. No human is disposable. Not my daughter, not Ms. Hebbs, not any Amazon worker. Thank you.
Hey, hey, ho, ho. Corporate greed has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Corporate greed has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Corporate greed has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Corporate greed has got to go.
All right. Thank you, Cheryl, so much. We want to, as you sit there and listen, human life has got to be sacred. We have to demand that Amazon sees human life as sacred. Thank you so much, Cheryl. Terrence Wise, Missouri Workers Center leader and a national leader for low-wage workers fighting to win $15 per hour and the right to form a union. Terrence, we'll ask you to come. Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
My name is Terrence Wise, and I'm a 42-year-old father of 3 beautiful daughters. I'm a leader in Stand Up KC, the Fight for 15 in the Union, and the Missouri Workers Center. It's all good. We got to deal with it. We're gonna deal with it. We're going to get through it. Now, I'm happy to be here, but I'm not happy to be here. You feel me? For real. I want to tell you why I'm here, but first I want to talk about what a typical day of work looks like for me. Is that all right? Yeah. All right. Y'all, my alarm goes off at 3 a.m. I have to be to work at 4 a.m., so I try to squeeze those last few extra minutes in before I know I got to throw my uniform on, scramble to the car, make it in time. But I pull into the parking lot at work, I race in, and as soon as I clock in, I'm supposed to take my cell phone and place it in a plastic box. Done with that for today. That's step 1. Management is stressed we cannot have our phones on the floor. They tell us to stay in position. Even if it's an emergency bathroom break, we're only allowed to use the bathroom before we clock in, on break, or when we clock out. They also, y'all, it gets worse. They recently put tape down and barriers so you know to stay in your station, stay controlled. Me and my coworkers, we crack jokes about it in the morning to try to get our moods up, but we're tired. It's early, and before you know it, the lights start flashing, buzzers start going off, and it's time for us to start producing. We got times and quotas to meet every minute, every hour, every day. And one thing for sure, they want us to stay productive. They make that clear. Y'all know what I mean when I say stay productive, right? That's what they want. Because the workers are the ones making them all the money. I even noticed I've been working 3 or 4 hours, and the old aches start coming back from the everyday repetitive motion. You know what I'm talking about. The back start aching. When I lift the shoulder, I felt it's still there even today as we gather. And then I start to get into thoughts like, man, I don't get paid enough for this. You ever feel like that?
Yes.
And I tell you another thing. I noticed at my job just a few weeks ago, y'all, in Kansas City, we had a little bit of snow come through. And even the days coming up to the snow event, management put signs by the clock that said, you got to show up. It's mandatory. Regardless of the snow, 6 inches, 2 feet, doesn't matter. And if you don't show up, you can be written up, terminated, or fired for not making it to work in bad weather. That ain't right.
That ain't right.
It ain't. What also happened is I had a boss, and at the time she was driving a new SUV. She got it like that. And she was telling workers, if I can make it to work, you can make it. Little did she know half of us walked or rode public transportation, so it's not as easy as right. It's not all about that. Now I know some of y'all are thinking, man, that sounds just like my job at Amazon. He talking like he worked where I work. Well, I'm a McDonald's worker. I work at McDonald's, And I know other fast food workers from Kansas City, raise your hand,
All
are
right.
out here with me today. And we travel far to be with workers here today. You know, Amazon workers and all of our brothers and sisters in the Missouri Worker Center, did you know that Amazon, McDonald's are the second and third largest private employers in the United States of America? Right behind that Walton guy. These companies have the most workers in their company in the whole country. That means what happens to us, workers at these multi-billion-dollar, we can say trillion-dollar corporations, is going to set the standard for what happens to workers throughout the whole economy. Last year, McDonald's, $6 billion in profit. Now, people are like, $6 billion in profit. That's after they paid all the bills, the rent, bought the food. That's take home. Amazon, a little bit better. 21 billion in profits. That's after they pay the bills and everything. Yeah, that sounds like some real money, right? That can make real change for us. Do y'all think they can afford to pay us more?
Yes.
You think they can afford to keep us safe at work?
Yes.
I believe so as well. So the question has arisen. Why are fast food workers here standing with Amazon workers today? Well, let me tell you something. In the workers movement, we say an injury to one is an injury to all. Repeat that after me. An injury to one.
An injury to one.
An injury to one.
An injury to one.
Now, let me tell you what that means. That means we go up or we go down together. That's what it means. That means that we have to have each other's backs because companies like Amazon and McDonald's, they're not going to do it for us. They're greedy. Everything they do shows us that it's profits over people. Now, my youngest daughter said, Daddy, why are you going to St. Louis, Edwardsville? What's out there? I said, injustice.
That's right.
And wherever it is injustice, we show up and we fight. What do? We fight. It means when some of us are being underpaid, all of our wages are going to be lower than they should be. It means that some of us are being overworked and disrespected. All of us are more likely to be mistreated. It means some of us have unsafe working conditions, like the workers around here have seen. We all are likely to get hurt or killed on the job. That's exactly what it means, y'all. Now, what happened right here to Etheria Hebb, DeAndre Morrow, Kevin Dickey, Clayton Cope, Larry Virden, Austin McEwen. Those names we shall never forget, y'all. That's an injury to every single one of us in the working class. We are here to honor their lives, to make sure that they're not forgotten, and to make sure they did not die in vain. That's why we're coming together to demand change. A few weeks ago, it was them. But tomorrow, it could be any one of us, y'all. Here at Amazon, it was a tornado that killed 6 workers. Just down the road in St. Louis, there was a McDonald's worker who got shot and killed on the job over an order of fries, y'all. And across the country, there are millions of us who have gotten sick and even died from COVID-19, even as we were called essential workers. But we have not been treated like we're essential, have we? No. Absolutely not. I'm here today to tell you it's time to come together. It's time we organize. It's time we unite. Black, white, brown, female, gay, straight. It's time for all of us to come together and build worker movements that are powerful enough to raise wages.
Yes.
To win unions and to get good health care, paid sick days, retirement, and to make sure nobody loses their life while on the clock. Yes. Now look, the movement changes people. They don't want us to come together, y'all. They don't want you to be my brother. They don't want you to be my sister. They want us to be divided and conquered. This is what they don't want, and this is not what they expected, us to come together. We can't wait on legislation, any elected leader. I don't care if you're Republican or Democrat. We cannot wait on an individual to swoop in and save us. OSHA's not going to save us. The federal government, Amazon's not doing a very good job. It's up to us to come together and put that pressure on and come across dividing lines. Am I right?
Yeah.
And that's what we're going to do, y'all. Thank you for having us today.
All right.
United we stand. Divided we fall. United we stand. Divided we fall. United we stand. Divided we fall. United we stand. Divided we fall.
We're nearing the end. I just want to acknowledge the Missionary Baptist State Convention Social Justice Coordinator Philip Duvall is out here. I know we have the Workers' Rights Board members out here. I know that we have the Metropolitan Congregations United out here. I know we've got CBTU. I'm looking around, I'm seeing labor folk, organized labor folk, Local 600 over there. I know we got the Teamsters out here. This is what it's all about, y'all. SEIU, I know SEIU, those my kids. 17, all right, you see how people get all possessive and personal. But Terrence is right, this is not what they expected. And we pushed back against right to work because we had labor and faith communities working together, because we know right to work is neither right and it's not real work. So we understood that. And so this is the beginning. This is the beginning of letting not Amazon know, but also elected officials who allow Amazon and McDonald's and other corporations to treat workers the way that they treat workers, not to provide livable wages, and to continue to have working conditions that are not suitable for anyone. As I thought about Dr. King in Memphis, and I recalled the picture of the black man in Memphis, Tennessee, with the sign, "I am a man." With the sign, "I am a man." Black man, Memphis, Tennessee, with the sign, "I am a man." We are human beings, Amazon. We are men and we are women. We are human beings and our lives are sacred. But if you don't see our lives as sacred, when workers' rights are under attack, what do?
Stand up, fight back.
When labor unions are under attack, what do?
Stand up, fight back.
And when the least of these are under attack, what do?
Stand up, fight back.
We want to thank all those who are responsible for bringing us together today, the Missouri Workers Center. Thank you very much. This is just a continuation, y'all. It's not the beginning. It's definitely not the destination. It's just a continuation. And we need to make sure, as Terrence said, when all the dollars that have been given out, I know people started saying cars and boats and vacations and going to outer space and also paying off elected officials and paying lobbyists and all of that. And we need to expose that too. And so we will be joining together and we will be organizing together. And we thank you very much for coming out. I'm going to turn it back over to Jeffrey and Les. Is there anything that I missed? If not, give us a chance as we go out.
When workers' rights are under attack, what do? Stand up, fight back. When workers' rights are under attack, what do? Stand up, fight back.